Thanks for joining us. My name's Jen. I'm with Cal Business Solutions, and today we are going to have Jeff show us the features and functionalities of Acumatica Payments. Before we begin, a couple things of importance. We did save some time at the end for questions and answers with Jeff, so if you do have questions throughout today's presentation, please type it into the Q&A box, which is at the bottom of your Zoom window. That way we'll make sure that we cover your question, and if we do happen to run out of time, we can get back to you with an answer for your question. The other thing, I am recording today's session, so we will have that recording available about 24 hours or so after the session's done. And as always, if you do have further questions, feel free to reach out to us at Cal, and Jeff has a slide at the end with our information on it. So on that note, thank you, Jeff, for joining us today, and I'll hand everything over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Jen. Really appreciate the opportunity to join you today and talk about Acumatica Payments. And thank you, everybody, for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us. Super excited. I'm a payments geek and love talking about payments. So hopefully you will gain some insight today on how you can accept payments from your customers. All right, so before as I jump into that, I wanted to just go through what I call the top 6 ways that you can improve your payments process, and I'll just quickly go through these because that number 4 is really what we're going to focus on today. But consolidating your payment vendors. So today, most businesses have multiple channels or ways that they accept payments from their customers, whether it's a storefront, sending out invoices, having accounts on file, e-commerce websites. So multiple ways that you take payments from customers. Consolidating that into one payment vendor is important. Most importantly, is it does reduce the cost, and different vendors have different costs associated with their solutions. So consolidating that into one, having more visibility, better reporting is key. Maximizing your sales channels. So if you're not taking advantage of all of those different ways that your customers can pay you, you should look into that. Open an e-commerce store. Have even if you are a warehouse, you potentially could still have in-person customers come in and pay you. Embrace accepting credit cards. I know for a lot of B2B, business to business companies, accepting credit cards is not ideal. Maybe your margins are very slim and credit card fees are a little bit daunting or misunderstood. Embracing credit cards and accepting credit cards can be a valuable way to have your customers pay you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. And then number 4, and maybe it should be number 1, but integrating your payments data with Acumatica. So taking payments from your customers on your invoices that are already created in Acumatica, pushing out payment links that your customers can click on and make a payment directly into an invoice, and having all of that payment data flow directly back into Acumatica. Stay PCI compliant. So PCI stands for Payment Card Industry, and there's different rules and regulations that the card brands put in place to help secure cardholder data. So making sure that you're using a secure system and a secure way to accept and store cardholder data. And then last, but certainly very important, is understanding the cost of credit card processing and what is actual cost versus what are just different fees that providers are charging you. And that's something that our payments team does really well in explaining to you as we do a full analysis and proposal with you. So that number 4, jumping over to the right-hand side, really the key is automating payments within Acumatica. So you have multiple ways to take payments from customers within Acumatica. You've got invoices, you've got sales orders, and then I also mentioned you can push payment links out to your customer so that they can make payments. There's also payment portals that they can log into, so even more security and have visibility into payment history. They can also store payment methods so that they can make payment, all eliminating inaccuracy of kind of some of that human touch and data entry. So all of it's automated. It's a secure payment gateway that Acumatica Payments uses. And accepting credit cards does reduce the days of sales outstanding on invoices. So getting paid faster is always important. Um, I'm going to just quickly, this is a lot of information here, so I'm just going to quickly run through some of these things here and kind of talk about what these mean. So obviously, the most important one is the ability to accept credit and debit card payments from your customers. Also, ACH payments from your US customers, so bank transfers. And then we also have a gift card solution as well. So if you do have storefront, you want to be able to offer a labeled gift card for your business. That is also a payment type within Acumatica. Something we're really excited about is the second bullet there, which is called compliant surcharging. So this is the ability to add a service fee onto a credit card charge, and we do that in a compliant manner. There's still a few states that still do not allow us to surcharge customers within those states. So we have some built-in features to filter out those customers in those states. And for example, you are not allowed to surcharge debit cards. So we look at the cards that you're being paid with. If it's a debit card, we remove the surcharge amount. And you can imagine surcharging is super popular right now. It's probably a conversation that comes up with every customer today. And there are advantages and disadvantages to surcharging your customers, as you can imagine, trying to stay competitive, but very much a conversation and a popular topic today. Payment links and the Acumatica portal. So I've mentioned payment links a few times. That's embedding a link on an invoice and within an email that you send out from within Acumatica. The customer receives the email, they receive the invoice, they click on the link, and they can make a payment by credit card or by ACH. And we also have the ability to have them log into the Acumatica Payments portal, and they can see those invoices and they can make a payment there. Couple different types of Acumatica portals available. There is one through the Acumatica CRM product, and there's one that's just a basic payments portal. So something to keep in mind. If you use Acumatica CRM today, you have the opportunity to extend that to your customers and have them make payments. Or you don't need the CRM product for just the basic Acumatica payments portal. There is a mobile payments app through Acumatica where you can accept payments from customers. This is popular with companies that have field technicians or anybody that's out in the field that needs to take payment. There is a retail terminal or multiple terminals, I should say, that are compatible with Acumatica Payments. So you don't necessarily need a full-blown point of sale system for your business. This is popular with parts counters, service counters where you want to take a payment from an in-person customer using credit card. All of this is integrated back into Acumatica. There's daily reporting that's pulled in. You can restrict certain payment types by customer. And so if you've got certain customers that, let's say their invoices are large ticket amounts, and you don't want them to pay those by credit card because it's a little more expensive, but you also don't want to pass the fees back to the customer. you can push them to pay by ACH only for those invoices. So you can restrict different payment types. Um, Multiple cards on and multiple payment types for one order is possible. You can reauthorize transactions. You've got delays in shipments. You've got different reasons why an order is just not ready, and that authorization time falls off. You can reauthorize transactions. You can do partial shipments and reauthorize and charge for the additional shipment product. You've got e-commerce integrations and workflows with different e-commerce platforms, and I'll talk a little bit about that on the next slide, I believe. Recurring payments, so you can schedule payments on invoices that will automatically recur according to the schedule you define. And then another one that's super popular is the last one, which is level 2 and level 3 commercial card requirements. So I call this the line item detail. So if you think of an invoice and you think of the different detail on an invoice, such as the quantity of an order, where the order is being shipped to, we include different things that may not be on an invoice, like commodity codes, purchase order numbers. So all of the things that are available in Acumatica, but we pass that information behind the scenes in the transaction, which qualifies the transaction at a lower cost, which is super important. So commercial card data requirements, this is something that's automated within Acumatica, which qualifies the transaction for a lower rate. So I went through a ton of stuff there. There's so much more that we could get into in details of each of these, but these are kind of what I think are very popular and super important with the Acumatica Payments integration. So why do we love Acumatica Payments? Why do I feel it's so important? Number one is that it is included in the core product. So it's not a customization that you need to install. It was developed by Acumatica. There's no additional cost for it, which is important. It's just a matter of clicking it and clicking a checkbox and activating it within your Acumatica. Acumatica Payments is included in core beginning in version 2023 R2. Um, it does go back a year before that, which would require a customization, but most customers are now on at least 2023 R2, and it is available in the core. So it's just a matter of going in, activating it, and configuring it for your merchant account, which we'll also talk about. Automatic updates, obviously very important because it is included in core. Acumatica makes sure that everything works properly before they push out any updates and fixes. We have the rec support team with Acumatica using their support teams and ticket system, which is awesome, and I love that. We have commerce options, point of sale options. You've got the Acumatica mobile app, and you've got the payments portal integration, all or mostly developed by Acumatica. Obviously, there's a lot of ISV options as well from point of sales and different e-commerce companies that Acumatica has built connectors with. No waiting for third-party updates. So there are third-party payments companies that you can utilize. However, they are outside, or excuse me, they are dependent on new updates and versions that come out. So you potentially could have to wait for those. You have access to new functionality and releases as Acumatica releases them. Surcharging, for example, is something that has been in development for a while and then pushed out as a new functionality release. So that's, you get access to those as soon as they're available. There are other native options built into to Acumatica. So if you have international needs, you have Stripe for that. And then there's also authorized.net, which some of you may be using today. Just keep in mind that authorized.net does have a sunset date and will not be available within Acumatica version 2025 R1. So with that, I think I have a slide talking about that. I do. So if you're using authorize.net for your payments today integrated with Acumatica, just keep in mind that you need to have a plan to migrate to a different payment solution, preferably Acumatica Payments, before upgrading to 2025 R1, because it will not be available in that version. So it will no longer be supported. It will still function until you upgrade to that version. So again, just planning is going to be super important, um, and so that you're not rushing at the last minute to find a solution. Quickly want to just look at some of the roadmap features that we have over the next. A lot of these are within the next 6 months. Some maybe a little further out. Surcharge we talked a lot about. It is available now as a customization and will be available in the core beginning in 2025 R1. So if you're on 2024 R1 today, it is available as a customization, which is very easily enabled and allows you to add a surcharge onto your invoices for credit card orders. The mobile, or excuse me, the field services app today allows you to collect a credit card. The next release of the field services app will have a mobile card reader that it works with. So those field services technicians would have a Bluetooth card reader that connects with their mobile device so that they can capture a in-person payment using that card tap. You can capture for more than pre-authorized. So that's if the invoice amount is $100 and you're adding shipping, you're adding other costs onto it, you can capture more than what was originally authorized. The commerce connectors, we have Shopify in the beta currently and BigCommerce with an expected availability in Q4, latter end of Q4. Update as of yesterday for BigCommerce is that the integration is being fast-tracked by BigCommerce and should be available by the end of the year for full release. Automated invoice notifications, something we also kind of coin as invoice chasing, which would allow you to set notifications on invoices for before due dates, on due dates, or after due dates, just customizing friendly email reminders. Hey, Mr. Customer, your invoice is coming up in a few days. And you would have the ability to include the payment link on that invoice saying, if you haven't had a chance to pay yet, here's the link. Please make a payment as soon as possible. We are looking to expand into other international regions with Acumatica Payments. That's going to be more of a 12-month-ish look into other regions, but we are expanding. Today, you have Acumatica Payments available in the United States and Canada. So if your business is physically located in Canada, or is Canadian business and you accept Canadian dollars or US dollars from Canada, we can accommodate Canadian and US customers. And then we're also coming out with enhancements to existing functionality. So most customers are accepting payments today from some provider. You have saved credit cards today and you want to be able to bring those over with you. We have a token migration tool. The token is what is saved in Acumatica versus the card. We don't save card numbers in Acumatica. We save a random token. And we pull tokens from other providers into Acumatica Payments so that you can keep those saved cards on file. We're making enhancements to our gift card acceptance, ACH reporting updates, and different receipt printing options within Acumatica. So that's kind of a look at the product roadmap. Here's a quick look inside Acumatica. I didn't want to jump into a full-blown demo today. I think everybody's needs are a little bit different, but I just wanted to quickly show you what this looks like. We are happy to sit down with any of you one-on-one and walk through a live demo and answer your specific questions as we do that. But here's a quick look at an invoice that's created in Acumatica. This one includes a payment link that was sent out to the customer, and that link is there on the right-hand side. The customer has the ability to check off the invoices that they want to pay. They can pay a single invoice, they can pay multiple invoices, and then the right-hand side of that screen will calculate those different invoices. They can view the orders or the items that are on that invoices by clicking the little view button on each tab, and it will show the list of items that were purchased in that invoice. So that's a really cool feature. You can see there that this particular customer has the ability to pay with credit card and ACH. Again, you can limit that by customer. And if that invoice is only allowed to be paid by ACH, they'll only have that option in the link. Okay, so that's super important and a really cool feature. If the customer has multiple invoices and some of them they can pay both payment types, some of them they can only pay ACH. If they check a box that is ACH only, it will restrict them to pay all the invoices by ACH. So if a customer is in that scenario, they should just check off each individual invoice and make a payment, the ones with credit card, and then check off the ones that are just ACH. Kind of an anomaly, but I did have a call with a customer the other day that is in that scenario. All right, here's a quick look at the Acumatica Payments portal. So you can see, again, the difference between a payment link and the payment portal is a payment link is a link included on the invoice where the customer clicks on the link and it makes a payment within a internet browser. So there's no logging in there. The payments portal requires a login. So a customer has a unique username and password. They log in and they can only see their invoices, their orders, and their payment methods. And you can see that they can create new cards and save different cards. They can see and pay their outstanding and open invoices. Okay, that's the difference between the two. And this is a look at the payments portal within Acumatica. Quickly, I'll just run through this quickly. This is the payments setup screen within Acumatica. You'll set up a processing center for Acumatica Payments. There are some gateway API keys that we set up, and we plug those into Acumatica. Once that's done, you're a little bit other configuration as far as GL and bank accounts, but for the most part, you're off and running and have the ability to accept payments. We generally set up a new customer with a sandbox or test account that you can use and train your teams on that to get you comfortable with it. And then once you're ready to move into production mode, we provide production API keys, and then you're live inside of Acumatica. Okay, I'm going to quickly run through the last few screens. How do you get Acumatica Payments? You need a merchant services account to do that. So if you're accepting payments today, everybody has one of those accounts. It's a merchant account. You will be required to switch to Acumatica Payments in order for that to work within Acumatica. You'll start by having a discovery call with a member of our sales team. They'll ask questions about your business. How do you accept payments? Who are your customers? How do they pay you? Do you have a website? Do you go to trade shows and sell a product? What are all the different ways that you pay? They'll want to review your statements. They will provide a proposal and provide the costs to your merchant accounts. Our goal is to save you money. We want this to um, give you better functionality within your payments processes, but also save you money at the same time. So it's really a win-win for you. Once you have an agreement, then we start the application process with you. If you do have save cards today, we'll walk through the token migration process with you. And we review the merchant account process in-house with our underwriting team and then provide the account creation credentials so that you can set up Acumatica. You're not doing this alone. The CalZone team assists you with that. We assist you with that. You've got a lot of resources along the way to help you with training and support. So never feel like that you're doing this on your own. We've got full teams that are available to help support you. The sign up process for your merchant account, super fast, super easy. 92% of all accounts are approved by noon the next business day. So best in class, really easy for you. We've got simple competitive rates. Again, our goal is to save you money. We want this to be a no-brainer for you. Next day funding is available on your credit card sales. You've got dedicated support from the Acumatica Payments team. We're going to help with simple bank reconciliation back into Acumatica. And all of this is built on an award-winning secure payment gateway. Here's a quick look. The application process is a digital application. So we send the company signer a link. It's got a few screens that you see there. It asks you about the business. It'll ask you a little bit about yourself and review the fees and terms and conditions on the last place. Click the agree and submit button, and that all goes directly and securely to our underwriting team. And they review the account. And again, most accounts, as I mentioned, are approved by the next business day. So super easy application process that our sales team walks through with you. I think that's it. It is. So wanted to just reiterate one thing as we close up. Schedule a call with Cal Business Solutions, and we can walk through a live demo with you. Again, talk about your business specifically. What are your needs? How is this going to help you and automate and make your payments processes more efficient?